remember asking you a goddamn
Welcome
thing.
to the No One Asked for This podcast. I'm Guy,
Babs?
and no one asked for this. Today we're going to be reviewing Hustlers. Hustlers is starring Constance Wu, Jennifer Lopez, and Julia Stiles. It's a movie where some strippers rip off some bankers for some reason or another. The gist of the movie is Constance Wu plays a stripper named Destiny, taken under the wing of another stripper played by J-Lo, and they go on this journey lasting spans a couple years that covers kind of their friendship and the lengths they go to be able to support their respective families. It's based on a true story. I don't do any research into how much of the story is true and how much of it they embellished, but that's the general summary of the movie. We'll start with what's the most memorable moment. Babs, what was the most memorable moment for you?
Usher came in the club. That was the most memorable moment because I remember it the most because we all know who Usher is.
You have nailed the definition of memorable. I think for me, the most memorable moment, I'm a fan of full frontal nudity. And the scene where one of their tricks, for lack of a better word, is injured trying while after they've drugged him and winds up jumping off the second story of his house and they have to take him to the emergency room. I mean, it was simultaneously telling the story of why what they were doing is dangerous, and also it was hilarious because he was just hating Dong the whole time, and they were all panicking. And then the black girl goes running off into the darkness for
Oh yeah.
never to be seen again. I think that was her last scene
Yeah,
of the movie.
she stopped.
So it was funny, but it also was telling as to why their crimes either had to be punished or had to end. Next up, we have the Vinnie the Microwave Johnson Award. For those that aren't aware, he was a sixth man on the Detroit Pistons championship teams of the late 80s, the Bad Boys Pistons that used to beat up Michael Jordan for fun. He was named that because he would score lots of points in just a little bit of minutes. This award is named after him initially, but after the end of the year, it'll be named after whoever had the most impactful performance out of a background player for the year 2019. But for now, it's going to be named the Microwave Johnson Award. So who is your microwave for the movie?
Who is the actress? Is it Lily Reinhart? Her character vomited a lot in this movie. Anything that disturbed or upset her caused her to vomit. And that is my...
I just call her the White Lady.
Yes.
Because they hilariously had this weird rainbow clique. It was like an Asian, and then
Yeah.
J-Lo.
They checked all the
And
boxes.
then a black lady and then a white lady. And the white lady's thing was that she vomited for no reason all the time.
She vomited when she was like scared or nervous.
Yeah, it was... it was definitely interesting to see. But by the end of the movie, you're like, stop doing that.
Like, ugh.
I'm going to give my microwave award to the grandmother. I believe it was played by the same actress that played actress, whatever term you want to use, that played Madame Gao on all of the Netflix Marvel series.
Think so.
She was like this old lady that punched really hard. She had kind of like an iron fist thing. I think she was trained in Kung Lao just like the Iron Fist, but she was in all of the shows: Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Daredevil. And she wasn't really a bad guy. She was a crime boss, but not really a bad guy. This was such a different performance from her because she sets up a lot of the emotional stakes for Destiny, the main character, Constance Wu. But her herself is just coming in throwing heat whenever she can get on screen. So I like the fact that she wasn't as one note as she could have been, because she's basically just there to be someone that makes you feel sorry for Destiny. But by the end of the movie, she had been hooked up with some movie star in the past from the fucking 50s or 60s or something. I don't know. It's a weird story, but I like the grandmother. Next up, we have the most valuable performer, the MVP of the movie. Babs, who you got?
Jenny from the Block was the most valuable performer in the movie because her performance was very commanding. Every time she's on screen, you're just captivated by her. She
was wearing those outfits.
Yeah, they were not wearing her. She was wearing them. She was just like, as soon as she comes on screen, you're just Like this same way Constance Wu's character is like drawn in by her, you're just drawn in by her.
Yeah, I think there's a line in the movie where she says in a voiceover that the moment she saw her, she knew she was the one that was in charge.
Yep. Said she was always in charge.
Yeah, and her opening sequence is like a 3-minute stripper dance that I was very impressed by, to say the least. I
Impressed?
kept screaming at the screen, I can't do that. It was only she upstaged her stripper performance by her acting, with her acting. It was incredible. So I needless to say, I have the same answer. J Lo is definitely the most valuable performer of the movie. Without her, the story I don't think even works as a movie. Like the whatever really happened. But in this particular movie, she is the heartbeat. Our last category is our rating. We use 4 categories: rewatchable, watchable, forgettable, and waste of time. It's rare that the waste of time will ever be used in this podcast because I'm not going to waste my time talking about a movie that was a waste of time. So my rating for this movie is going to be watchable. Babs, how about you?
It is watchable. I'm reluctant to say rewatchable, but it's definitely watchable.
Yeah, rewatchable. That's a tough nut to crack. I would assign rewatchables to movies that I would buy, like purchase for myself, so that I can watch them anytime I want. I don't think this is going to be one that I add to the library, but it definitely is worth a watch. And if it were on cable as I'm going by, I would stop by depending on which moment in the movie or which scene in the movie was playing. There you have it. That concludes this episode of the podcast. We won't always be talking about movies, but I guess we were this week. And if you want to complain or you feel like this is dumb, remember, no one asked for this.
Still